Hey everyone, this is Misty Metschke with Hunsker & Associates, and today we are talking about how is the real estate market here in the central Iowa area. We're going to break this up into three parts. We're going to first talk about 2020 home sales and how that compared to 2019. Then we're going to jump into how COVID-19 is actually affecting the real estate market right now. What are we seeing with pending sales? What do we see going on with buyers and sellers? And then we're going to wrap up talking about looking forward into the month of April, May, June. And if you are thinking of buying or selling a home, what does this mean for you? So let's go ahead and get started. So this first graph that I'm going to show you is comparing the 2020 real estate market to 2019. And right away, you'll see that January and February started off strong. All the indications were pointing that 2020 was going to be a record-breaking year. We had more homes for sale, they were selling quickly, and that was driving up the average home price. Interest rates were low, and there was a lot of optimism about the market. And then you can see March. March happened and we saw a reduction in home sales. This is when the COVID epidemic really started to affect here in Iowa. So being the numbers geek that I am, I jumped into the specifics of the March numbers and decided to break it out pre-COVID and post-COVID. And that started about March 10th. And so March 1 through March 10, you can see that we sold 26 homes. And that was actually above where we were at in 2019. That makes sense. You know, if we have a booming market, that those numbers might be a little bit above last year. But then you can see that we started to have a slight downturn. So that second portion of the month from March 11th to March 20th, we had a slight reduction. 22 homes went pending. And then the last portion of the March, between March 21st and March 31st, we had 21 homes that went pending. You total those all up, it was around 69 homes for sale, or that sold, which was down just slightly, about 13% from where we were last March. And so you might be wondering, boy, if they're down 13%, is that something we should be worried about? And the answer is not really. If you could look at 70 homes for sale, 69 homes for sale, that's actually higher than what we would typically see in October, November, December, January, February. So home sales, even with the impact of COVID in March, remained fairly strong. So the next question is, what is the impact looking forward into April and May? And so what we do are we're looking at leading indicators. And in this case, we're looking at showing time graphs. This is a measure of how many buyers are actually going out there and scheduling appointments to look at homes. And we know that if buyer traffic significantly drops and we have less buyers out there, there's probably going to be fewer homes that sell. So as we were talking about before, you can see around March 10th, there was definitely this decline in the number of appointments that were set up. But then around March 25, March 26, it began to stabilize, and that's where we're at. The rest of March and the first part of April, our buyer demand is actually remaining fairly constant. And so if we're remaining constant, this leads us to believe that going into April, all things being the same, that we're probably going to have a strong April market as well. Now, this is very dependent upon a lot of things. The first one and the most important one is the safety of our buyers and our sellers and what's going on at the state and the national level with COVID and stay-at-home alerts. Obviously, we want to protect everybody. I am a mom, and I have 2 kids, and I have elderly parents and elderly grandparents, and we definitely want to keep everybody safe. And if we start seeing a more concern and a state lockdown, then we're definitely going to be seeing these numbers decrease. But if things remain somewhat under control and buyers and sellers remain somewhat confident and optimistic, I think the sales are going to remain about where they were in March. Now, there's a slight possibility that we could see a bump up in April. I'm really not, terribly optimistic about that. But I guess where we're wrapping up here is if you are a buyer or a seller, we are still in a strong spring market. There are still sellers out there who are motivated and need to sell their home because of whatever reason, health, financial, new job, or so forth. And we still have buyers out there that have their leases that are ending and they're looking to buy a home, or maybe they've outgrown their other home and they're in a situation that financially they're able to move up. So it's still a strong market out there. If you have questions about your specific situation or how we as real estate agents are helping our buyers and sellers stay safe, feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'd be glad to talk to you. My contact information is here on the screen, and I look forward to talking to you. Thanks, and have a great day. And bye.